Emmanuel with Microsoft. Good to have you both.
Absolutely.
How are you doing this morning?
Good.
Very good.
Good, good. Well, first of all, I'd like to know a little bit more about what you guys are doing together. What is the partnership between Johnson Controls and Microsoft?
Sure, I can start, Lisa. Thanks for having us here. As part of my role in OpenBlue, right, OpenBlue is our integrated solution set for smart building solutions, working as part of an open ecosystem of both our inbuilt solutions as well as our partner providers. We are focused on 4 primary goals, helping our customers achieve their goals for sustainability, for asset health, predictive maintenance, occupant experience, healthy buildings, and then basically providing that smart building platform where they can go build their own experiences as well. And that's core to our partnership with Microsoft as well, right? We have been partners for a long time, right? Both customers of each other. We use Azure significantly as part of deploying our cloud-based technologies, and in turn, we are deploying our solutions to a lot of Microsoft locations, office locations, as well as our joint customers, right? And again, helping them achieve similar goals.
Okay, all right. Emmanuel, what was, OpenBlue is a fairly new offering for Johnson Controls, correct? What was it about OpenBlue that was intriguing for you? And and how did that sort of address some of the challenges and needs that you had at Microsoft?
So, I think, Lisa, when you look at it and you look at a building, in addition to what Vineet said, how we work together, the biggest value for us is how can we drive more value from the physical assets that we have. And value for us comes in many forms. One is around experience, the other is around sustainability, the others are around increasing asset value. And then when you have to do all these things, ultimately it comes back to be able to have a platform that's able to unite all of the underlying building automation systems that you have. Buildings today are disparate jungles. You have a device and an asset from everybody. How are you going to bring all these assets together, make them work together, and ultimately our need was unifying the data and creating a seamless flow, and that's where a platform from JCI starts to come in for us to say, hey, if I have to walk into a room and have to benefit from 30, 40 systems that the building has to be able to keep that building optimized, I have to weave that data together. And that's where the platform comes in, and that's why we work so close together.
Yeah, the advantage of bringing in JCI's 140 years of domain experience, right? Having been in buildings, done HVAC controls, security systems, fire systems for so long, and then layering technology on top, right? We always collected a lot of data. Now we are in the world where we are translating that data into insights, into actionable, applying AI on top of it, right? So the mix of the technology platform and then the layer of domain on top, and then having the services globally to actually help our customers execute on it is where our joint value proposition, right, makes a huge difference.
Right, and I think the difference too is everybody knows the Johnson Controls name. You've been around a long time. Johnson Controls is well known for their equipment, for their controls, for their chillers and their, but a more holistic approach, the more building solutions side, maybe they don't know quite as well. And so you guys are really seeming to wrap your arms around all the different aspects of what is needed in a building and all the different areas in which you touch building automation and efficiency and energy management, and really looking at how you can take that to the next level.
Yeah, that's a great point, Lisa. And what we see our customers struggle with is, hey, we can look at our cooling systems, we can look at our control systems, we can monitor occupancy, we can monitor indoor air quality, but give us a pane of glass where we can use these intersecting outcomes to drive real action, right? That's where the magic happens, right? So that transition, and also simplifying the experience, right? With the emphasis on decarbonization, the emphasis on mitigating the difficulty in finding skilled labor, right? I think that's where we are making a difference, right? By using technology to the right extent.
Right.
And just to extend your thought, Vineet, I would say in addition to all the great stuff that you said, the core for us as owner-operators of our assets is how do we let people know that the asset is working for their benefit? To be able to do that, you really have to change your mindset from going into proactive maintenance into predictive maintenance, right? We talk about predictive maintenance a lot, but predictive maintenance for us should also includes predicting the needs of the occupants in that space. And I think when we touched upon air quality has been a huge topic over the past couple of years, and it always has been important. But how do you make it mainstream so when a person walks into a space, you know the systems are working together to make that that space clean, safe, and to ensure the person has a pleasurable, delightful breathing experience. So this requires a combination of data from multiple devices, from multiple sensors. In addition to that, efficiency is important. You have to know how to optimize and fine-tune these systems. That's where having a platform where we're able to see that, hey, looking at the crowd today, looking at the weather today, this is what the air quality is outside and inside. We would recommend and we would suggest these are the change to your operation parameters, knowing the impact on the efficiency of the building. Having the insight and the control to make those decisions so your building is always at its best is what we all look for. And that's what we get from a platform.
Mm-hmm. What do you think it is that tenants really expect from their buildings, from their places and spaces, and a lot of things are coming together? But what do you think are the expectations of tenant now post-COVID?
Yeah, the expectations keep evolving, right? So we are always meeting a goal that's shifting. But what's important to understand is that the demographics are different, right? Depending on what part of the world you are in, right? The age group, the type of work that's happening in the building, right? So adapting to these different industry verticals, right? And then having the right solution fits, right? So the example of indoor air quality and managing that along with energy, that's so critical for commercial real estate, for office spaces. But then for private equity investors, for REITs, it's also important for them to improve their asset value. Right, so balancing that need, right, of how the building comes across and the value of that building as an asset versus balancing it with occupant expectations, getting high value tenants, right? Again, that's so critical, right? So our technology lets them choose between different recommendations, and then where we see this as a stepping stone where the AI would have learned enough about their patterns and their needs to execute the cycle for them, right? So the future in front of us is autonomous buildings, right? Now how that actually gets executed and how it impacts all of us as users, occupants of the building is what we look forward to, right, over the next few months.
And do those expectations change? You guys, Johnson Controls is a global company. Microsoft is a global company. Do the expectations change depending on the culturally? Are they different in different countries, or is that a big challenge for you?
So the point that you made, Vineet, on demographics, that probably is the foundation to how how I would answer the question. Different people have different needs in a building. These needs can be dictated by age, by requirements, cultural traits, geographic locations. Buildings are inclusive. Anybody can walk into a building. Buildings don't differentiate. You are welcome to walk into a building, but everybody has unique needs. How do you take those needs, analyze those needs, and create a service for that person? I mean, when we look around the conference center here, everybody has different needs, right? Some people want to sit, some people want to stand, some people are looking for fresh air, some people are searching for somebody else. How are you able to bring all that data together and create a unique experience catered to that individual? Now, if that individual has got cultural needs, or based on where the building is located, we've got geographic needs. Like in Vegas, it's hot. So we have higher cooling needs. You come down to Seattle, it's not as hot as it is here. Hence, the variation of the experience is required everywhere. And the beauty is, the human does not change. Based on where the human is and what the situation and background they're at, their experiential needs vary. So that's where the need for a building to be agile and to respond to any kind of a human being, no matter what age group that they belong to. That is the key. We have to meet the needs of all demographics and all tenants. Yep.
What do you think about whether technology companies are actually meeting the needs of the tenants? Do you think that they are meeting the expectations of the tenants?
I think we see a lot of discovery and rethinking happening around what those expectations mean, right? I mean, hybrid working is here to stay, right? So the needs again vary. I get more questions today about knowing when my colleagues are in office, and accordingly I'll plan my meetings and come in than we ever did in the past, right? So the ability for the systems, the platform to adapt to those changing needs is what we see as the most critical aspect, and that's what OpenBlue has been designed for.
What do you? We're only have a couple of more minutes. My final question would probably be what is the top? I hate to say trend, but what is it that's coming down the pike in the next 12 to 18 months that you think is going to be transformative?
You know, so as owner operators, the biggest trend is going to be focusing on making space attractive, and the attractiveness of space is going to be dependent on the experiential services that space would have. So people will be more than delighted to come and use that space. If it is lighting, if it is sound, if it is human engagement, if it is space type or space responses, all that underscored by an immense need of safety and security to ensure you are comfortable where you are, where people would love to collaborate because the space works for them.
Yeah. So building on his answer, right? How people interact with spaces is going to be, different. I mean, we hear about generative AI today, right? I mean, today primary experience are based on mobile kiosks or your laptops, right?
Right.
So in the future, creating more frictionless experiences is what we see happening. How again, it actually, turns into products is what we look forward to.
Okay. Well, thank you both for being here. It was great chatting with you, Vineet, Emmanuel.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoy the rest of the conference, and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Pleasure. Thank you.
And we'll be right back.